caminho até quase que não estivesse conversando, né? Não é?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear, Steve. Over. How can you... Okay, yeah, don't listen to him, Steve. He's pretending to be able to hear you. All right, anyway, well, this is probably a goal, mate. You reckon it's a goal? Over. Wait, hang on a second. How can you hear him? Yeah, I think we should personally award 7 goals. Yep, okay, 7-0 to our team. No. You can't just do that, mate. Yo guys, it is your boy Niran here, and you are watching FTW. This is of course the series where I bring to you the best and more frequently the worst of what football has to offer during the last 7 days. But what's been kicking off in the world this week? Well lads, it's officially British summertime. Lads, it is a beautiful time to be alive, except for the fact that it's 7 degrees Celsius and pissing it down. Yeah lads, it's the only son the Premier League is getting right now plays for Korea. Chelsea ground staff are ensuring that they don't have to lose their next game by waterlogging it, and I'm already preparing for my excuses as to why I'm not going to a beer garden in 4-degree heat.
We mustn't forget that it's been raining, so...
Onto the football though now, and regrettably, it's an international break.
Oh, jeezy pips, man.
Leading to Sam Matterface creeping out from under your floorboards, the Libyan national team knowing they're gonna get some airtime on television for once. And personally, I'm gonna be gutted when my 9-fold ACCA falls short because of Bhutan versus Singapore. But we'll start these international break shenanigans with England's journey to Italy in an attempt to right the wrongs of Euro 2020. I'm still getting over that defeat, and so is Bukayo Saka's general neck area. We as a public are still scarred. I haven't eaten a calzone in 2 years now, so when we scored early on in this one to take the lead, it brought back some painful memories.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
But this time, we would hold on for a 2-1 victory to start our Euro 2024 qualifying campaign in style.
Come on, England!
Goals in this one came from Declan Rice and a record breaker in Harry Kane. His penalty just before half-time saw him hit 54 goals for England and overtake Wayne Rooney's record. Wayne was furious online, but for real, sensational achievement for Harold, though the public of Qatar were concerned seeing him step up for another penalty again.
Put it over by a mile.
Though the poor guy looked like he was crawling out of a trench in Afghanistan early on.
Tango down.
He's probably just looking for his club trophies, to be fair. This is a first win for England in Italy since 1961. Before kick-off though, and the English national anthem was sung, interestingly... God save the kick. You ain't saving anyone with this. Put me on the mic. I can do a job. And speaking of things that only last 54 seconds, that's how long there was between Luke Shaw's yellow cards that saw him sent off 10 minutes from time. It saw a shift in formation and Phil Foden subbed off just 12 minutes after coming on. The kid got a free trial for the game. One fan may not have made it out at full time in Naples after taking a banner saying Diego's in a box on it to the home of the city where he played for Napoli for all those years, which is of course grim. There was an apparent €10,000 bounty set on his head by Italian fans. 10k, mate, England fans will be turning him in for that. Meanwhile, there's one thing you can rely on to happen on England international duty. Jordan Henderson man-marking Jude Bellingham in the showers.
Check his hard drive.
To be honest, I usually skip this part, I can't lie.
I wish he'd fuck off.
A week ago, Jack Grealish told Jude Bellingham to come to Man City. Jude's response was to ask him to join Dortmund. Henderson's devastated seeing them flirt on IG. Meanwhile, with Real Madrid trying to sign the young Englishman, Florentino Perez has a message for Jordan.
You see, you plumber from Liverpool, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
Okay, alright. We'll come back to international football in a second though, as there's been some domestic news too, with the news of Antonio Conte's sacking. After the Italian's explosive rant about his players and board following a 3-3 draw with Southampton, Antonio was shown the door at Spurs. His handshake with Richarlison when leaving training for the final time could get messy. He has some harsh words for 87% of the players there.
You're distinctly average. So, but none of...
Meanwhile, he's going to have a tough time convincing the wife that he's done well when he gets home to Italy. So, how did it go, Antonio? Yeah, no, I've got a trophy here. Get me. It says Audi Cup on it. Yeah, no, it's from 2018. You weren't there in 2018. That's mad. I think you're going through a tunnel right now. But who will replace him there? Get Tim Sherwood back, in my opinion.
We need to win this game. As we said, Mark Hughes cannot win. The only time he can win is by winning this football match.
Those were the days. He'd get a 25k fine like Will Still, just for being who he is. Here we have Tim bringing his CV to Daniel Levy's office.
My reputation speaks for itself. won the treble on FIFA 22 with Manchester United. That's not been done since 1999.
Meanwhile, Zinedine Zidane is apparently on Tottenham's shortlist, which is good, because he's slot right into their midfield, to be fair. One other option is newly jobless Julian Naglesmann, who's been sacked by Bayern Munich despite a 100% Champions League record. Apparently, he found out via Fabrizio Romano and headed straight to Bayern headquarters for talks, although it didn't go quite as well as he thought it would. We call him Julian No Goals Man now, because obviously we didn't score enough. There's rumours that he broke up with his girl the same week. No job, no girlfriend, and now he's got a deal with Clement Longley. He's had to download Job Centre and Tinder on the same day. He's gonna be losing it after a week of coaching Pedro Porro.
On my mum's life, I will go jail. Fucking lost 7-0, and you still wanna fucking do shit.
How's he gonna convince his kids to come see him in Wood Green?
We killed that minute one. We press, we're aggressive, fucking chances, goals.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm out of here, lads. Daniel Levy won't get too much joy just slapping the contract down in front of him.
Chicken in the ball? Is it chicken ball FC?
Come to think of it, I wonder what Tottenham's interview process is like. Right, so Stevie, the brand is no trophies. Can you continue that?
Yeah, of course.
Woof, not a grain of hair in here, am I right? Okay, right. Anyway, the budget is £68.30. A Premier League Fair Play Award and a TK Maxx loyalty card. Does that sound good? Right, Frank, what are your thoughts, mate? Well, I'll need to think about it, because I don't want to make a spur-of-the-moment decision. You get me? Because obviously... No, but for real, this is a terrible job. If we're being honest, Julian has already got his LinkedIn bio sorted.
Fit, ready, and available for offers. Not Tottenham.
Bayern are just Watford with an unhealthy obsession with socks and sandals. How's Julian out of there already? Now, ex-Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel is in to replace him. He beat Manchester City in a Champions League final, of course. Pep will be confused seeing him down on the touchline for another European quarter-final. With how everyone else gets at Bayern, expect this to be Thomas in 6 to 8 business weeks. You know what we need now? Conte in the Bundesliga. Get him to Dortmund ASAP. Imagine Thomas seeing Antonio step out of the tunnel for the Classico.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Tuchel will be trying to chase him down the touchline when they inevitably go 1-0 down. Back to the international break though now, and Scotland pulled off the shock result of the week, beating Spain 2-0. Both goals came from Scott McTominay, taking his tally in qualifiers to 4 already.
The best offensive player on the planet Earth. You can't stop this brother.
He's almost the top scorer, lads. What the fuck is going on here? Scott McBappe, you know. He's shocking for them. Imagine United fans seeing him hit that tally with a brace against Spain.
Oh no! You're having a laugh! It's 4!
He might be the greatest Scottish goal scorer of all time. So that's like saying you're the most hygienic version of a Maryland chicken shop. At the end of the day, there's still plenty of shit in there. Rodri wasn't too pleased with Scotland's time wasting and going down too easily. A man from Spain saying this. He said the same about Morocco. He's clearly a sore loser. And Scott will let Rodri know how he feels at full time anyway.
Oh no, I'm so scared, you fanny face.
Over at the Netherlands, and with Ronald Koeman coming in as the new head coach, a new managerial era is starting today.
There is no passion, there is no vision.
Yeah, Ronald Koeman's first game back in charge of the Netherlands ended in a 4-0 loss to France. I say first game back because the Netherlands just rotate between two bosses. They got Louis van Gaal on speed dial already. They did at least have the chance to restore some faith with a 90th minute penalty. Yeah, they missed a pen, I can't lie. Now, apparently the Dutch squad was hit by food poisoning in camp after a dodgy curry. They've been beaten by a highlighter pen and a madras in 1 week. Frankie de Jong had a tough time keeping his extra zingy korma down. They had some crazy poppadoms on their hands. Or if you're the Dutch goalkeeper, you just had poppadoms for hands. Matthijs de Ligt was struggling after the drive home. Meanwhile, Virgil van Dijk was in trouble after hobbling out of the Dutch cubicles after their game.
Fuck that. Do apologise to all my lady fans out there. That is horrible. That is fucking horrible.
The Netherlands did have a better time facing off against Minnows Gibraltar, where they won 3-0, but had 51 shots. I'm sorry, if you miss 48 shots, you lose. That's how the rules work. They had 89% possession, more shots than a Conte press conference. The Gibraltar penalty area was basically recognised as a NATO-protected war zone. This is what happens when you put Wout Weghorst up top. The Gibraltar defenders were basically allowing him through to score. Back in England, though, and our second game came versus Ukraine, and resulted resulted in a pretty comfortable 2-0 win. Lads, I don't mean to alarm you. Wait, calm me, no. Bukayo Saka scored an absolute screamer here.
He's the best football player in the world. I'm being serious.
So tough for the Ukrainian goalkeeper to see a rocket coming towards him. Zinchenko used the time after the game wisely to try and convince Declan Rice to sign for Arsenal. Meanwhile, Jordan Henderson knew he had one last opportunity to impress Jude Bellingham and embraced the culture with his celebration of the win. Now in Argentina and in their win versus Panama, Lionel Messi scored his 800th goal via a beautiful free kick. A sign that the guy is simply not human. Panama's players knew that as well, getting signatures and pictures with him. Yeah lads, I feel like you should probably wait till after this set piece has been taken before. He's making the most of Argentina's World Cup win with a reminder of being champions on his boot. And him and the rest of the squad had a reminder for France of what happened in the final. Listen, I respect the housery, but PSG fans are going to catch him outside the Parc de France. The rest of the squad are not letting it go either with this celebration, of course recreating Emi Martinez's. Now, Toro Martinez not having such a great time. That is beyond special! Well, Lisandro Martinez is getting flirty with Leo himself. Here we have the Manchester United centre-back getting prepared for a date later that evening. Meanwhile, Rodrigo de Paul is not too pleased that his man's been taken off him. Argentina then beat Curacao. They're making up countries at this point, mate. They've got a player who's called Cheese, for God's sake. Speaking of scoring versus minnows, and Cristiano Ronaldo is back at it too, with a big win over Luxembourg. He has the most international appearances in football history though, which is a crazy feat. He's now at 197. Speed was watching him this week and witnessed him score a beautiful free kick. Fox Soccer provided a little bit too much enthusiasm for a brace against Liechtenstein. Well done, he's a window cleaner. 0.1% of Liechtenstein's population headed over for this game in Portugal. That's 40 people, for God's sake. Cristiano might have been about for a while at the top level, but even longer, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He's back playing for Sweden in his 40s. I said we don't have the lung capacity. He calls himself a god. He's the age of one now. Put him and Roy Hodgson in a room together. That's enough experience for the dinosaur age. Atalanta forward Rasmus Højlund has been grabbing the headlines. He's done well for his Serie A side, but he's now the top scorer for Euros qualification with 5 for the Danes. Yeah, listen, you ain't fooling me, Erling. Warning, San Marino public service announcement. They were not losing a game at half-time. They even thought they'd managed to grab themselves the lead until it was ruled out for offside. And then they conceded, in the eyes of the admin, 2 shit goals. I just want some San Marinese joy, you know. All 7 people over there are gonna love it. In Paraguay's game against Chile, and with the scores level at 2-2 in the 90th minute, all you've got to do as Paraguay's goalkeeper is deal with a terrible corner. Well, I guess I didn't say how he needed to deal with it. Back up in Scotland, and don't start filming and jump in queues, for the love of God. That fan might have been punched, but his compatriot here was KO'd, with this Scottish supporter taken out on a wheelchair after drinking too much or watching Joselu try and play football for 90 minutes. His mum won't be too happy when he wakes up in A&E tomorrow after 36 pints of Strongbow.
Sorry.
Funny.
You gotta have a laugh.
No, it's not funny.
At Northern Ireland, and it's fair to say their star man is the first and last name on the team sheet. In France, and Mike Mainan pulled out an unbelievable save to prevent Ireland grabbing a draw in the 90th minute. The last time my nan saved anything like this, I'm pretty sure it was a knitting set. Nathan Collins outlined what he wanted to do after the game.
I nearly broke Nanny's leg. These things happen, unfortunately.
French legend Lilian Thuram has his 2 kids playing in the French national setup at the moment together, and he decided to drop them off for training. I hope he brought the packed lunches as well. Finland's latest goal scorer was Oliver Antman this week. I mean, I can only imagine this goal didn't come from an aerial duel. Kazakhstan completed an unbelievable comeback and win over Denmark with the final score 3-2. Their boss was happy to eventually get the better of the Danes. Nice. Meanwhile, for Nigeria and I can't just have a week of pure joy, can I? The Super Eagles lost 1-0 to Guinea-Bissau this week, and I can guarantee half of you don't even know what that is. I've had enough. I don't want to watch Nigeria anymore. At Japan versus Colombia, and if you're gonna stand up to a player that's just fouled you, don't let them foul you again, for God's sake. Meanwhile, in the grand US of A, and Matt Turner has possibly the most American gender reveal possible.
We are about to find out the gender. Give that ball a kick!
Honestly, after watching him versus Sporting, I'm surprised he made a connection. Now, Erling Haaland might be in trouble with the police after supposedly being caught being on his phone whilst driving his Rolls Royce. Rizzle FC fans are going to be delighted seeing this one.
I'm telling you right now, we're going to win the Champions League! I'm telling you!
Pep Guardiola's on the way to Qatar to secure a £174 million bail from the owners. I'm turning up, mate, to protect him at court because he's in my fantasy football at the end of the day. Meanwhile, Robbie from AFTV will be disgusted catching the judge outside the court after Erling was only given a suspended sentence for putting his phone on silent.
You are a Judas! Judas!
Brandon Williams is in trouble too after being seen inhaling nitrous oxide from the passenger seat of a car. When Erik ten Hag challenged him to crack into the first team, this is not what he wanted. And Tyrell Malacia is struggling after taking one too many of Brandon's balloons. A video has surfaced of Hasbulla abusing a cat this week, seemingly having a scrap with it and then ended up punching the cat. Pick on someone your own size, said the judge to the cat, because he's honestly probably bigger than. Meanwhile, Kurt Zuma's going to be disgusted finding out Hasbulla's getting away with it just because he's small. Yeah. A charity match involving Liverpool and Celtic, Steven Gerrard tucked away a penalty before celebrating in front of Celtic fans who threw bottles at him during a charity match. This is why I love football. Calvin Phillips was picked for international duty by Gareth Southgate again despite limited first team opportunities at City, and he seems to know that based off his Twitter likes. At Everton Women now, and it's good to see elderly male fans going and watching the games there because they enjoy the genuinely top quality football there.
Disgusting!
Meanwhile, there's the news that Sam Smith is a Fulham fan over on Insta. Didn't know he was a football fan, to be fair, but I can't imagine what he's gonna think when he realises third in the table aren't called them Chester United. Now, though, time for your goals of the week, and you know the score. We got bangers again. First of all, over in the Trinidadian League, and take about Travis Byron slapping one into the top corner from absolutely miles out. We continue the theme of Caribbean goals from different postcodes, with Bobby Decordova-Reid scoring for Jamaica against Mexico here.
Chance here from outside! Goal!
And finally, it's another long-range strike, but this time with some unbelievable skill over at Ibiza, with a couple flicks over opponents and then a volley into the top corner. A bitter pill to swallow for the opponents, and a normal pill to swallow for Ibiza, most likely. In Spain, and Gerard Piqué's football tournament, a sort of adaptation of the beautiful game involving legends of football, sold out the Nou Camp. Unbelievable scenes for the former Barca man, and they were lucky to witness a Real Madrid icon Cristiano Ronaldo's Sue celebration. Union Berlin over in the Bundesliga appreciate all of their staff, including their bus driver, who they made a lovely birthday graphic for on Twitter. In France, and down in the third tier, Dunkirk versus Sedan, someone might want to iron out the pitch just a little bit. And in Italy, down in Serie D, there is the revelation halfway through a game that the goals are too small. So they had to dig up some turf, alter them, and try and make them taller on the fly. Hello all, and welcome to The Beautiful Game, the segment where we take a look at the poetic and brilliant side of the game that we love. We are back by popular demand for yet more glorious beauty. And that concludes The Beautiful Game. Now, over in the Netherlands and at PSV, we've got a referee who's gone down injured. He was ready to accept the caution that he deserved. In Argentina and at Independiente Rivadavia, we've got a goalkeeper attempting to waste some time when a ball is thrown at him by the ball boy. But at least he only went through this traumatic incident once. At Tanzania versus Uganda, and these lot have just decided to keep on playing till the night's over. Fenerbahce played Zenit St. Petersburg in a friendly this week. Tensions flared, things got heated, and one Fenerbahce player player signaled to the Zenit bench to sub off one of his players. When you're getting told to go off by the opponent, that's a violation. Tajikistan managed to grab a draw against all odds against the United Arab Emirates this week. There wasn't a massive away contingent that went and followed them, but their manager was sure to clap them after the game. Kenya played up against Iran this week, and their goalkeeper had an absolute stinker. Meanwhile, back in Argentina again, and even though these guys have retired, okay, they're playing in a Masters match. Once a Boca Juniors shirt is playing up against the River Plate shirt, there is going to be an assault somewhere out on the pitch. That's a man with a hip replacement dishing out a hip replacement.
Uma invasão de campo de moto eu nunca tinha visto. Foi no futebol amador da Holanda. Jogo entre o Venhuizen e o Vitesse 63.
You can't park this, huh?
Closer to home, Ben Foster has come out of retirement to join Wrexham in the National League till the end of the season. Obviously, Ben had retired after leaving Watford and focused on his YouTube channel, but the GoPro is back. Guess my absolute legends. What are you saying today, G's? Ryan Reynolds, top dog, Hollywood geezer, give me a sweet old contract. Another man coming out of retirement is Adebayo Akinfenwa, who's joined Faversham down in the lower leagues. He had the opportunity to be a hero, but missed a last-minute penalty against an outfielder. Blackpool took shots at Fleetwood when they were encouraging fans to go and watch non-league sides this week, to which Fleetwood reminded them they'll be in the same league next season. It's a shithousery award for Fleetwood Town. Meanwhile, over at Colchester versus Tranmere, the streets of South America are where you find a lot of improvised football. Five-a-side, barefoot on terrain that a groundsman would have a seizure over. Add to that the extra fear of falling down a train. Staying on the South American theme, and football over there, even out on the grass pitches, is a completely different breed. To be fair, this is just leaked footage of Brandon Williams in 3 years. As stated here by Colin, the Botswanan Premier League needs to be on television. Imagine the power you have as a right-back for Police 11 when you get skinned by a winger from the jail team.
Bang, see you later, you go in prison. You go in prison. And you're getting named and shamed.
The goalkeeping howlers are back once again, starting in Malaysia. Just put your foot through it, lad. That's all you've got to do. In Uganda, and we've got a goalkeeper here whose first name is Toaster. Fair to say shot stopping is his bread and butter. Meanwhile, all aboard the ship for unique celebrations.
Goles para Anthony Lopez.
Now there is time for Still 0-0, and you guys know the score by now. This is a segment of the show where I bring to the best of Sunday League and amateur football, and this week I'm treating you. We've got two beautiful clips. So first of all, over at Ramsgate, who were 3-1 down in the 93rd minute. They scored one in injury time to take it to 3-2, and with one more goal to find in the 98th minute, how about this for a finish to bring them level? A 98th minute scorpion kick. I'd quit my real job. Meanwhile, over at Greenwich Battle Cruisers versus Challenge Veterans, who got a very different type of goal going in here.
Nice keeper.
This might be the best Still 0-0 clip of all time. Shouting fuck off as you kick a football is exclusively only allowed if your name is Alan. On to the weird stuff though now. Over in Fiji, and they had a friendly this week against their under-20s. Seems a little bit unfair, to be honest with you. Meanwhile, I'm getting escorted out of William Hill after trying to put a bet on a Fiji to win. On the theme of interesting international fixtures, and Ukraine played up against Brentford's B team this week. Lovely to see that Mikhailo Mudryk has found his level. Meanwhile, David Beckham was proud in the stands, watching his son get absolutely ripped apart by Alexander Zinchenko.
Hey! It's my son.
And finally, there is the ridiculous story of Sergio Contreras, who was an attacker who used to play for Marseille in the mid-thousands. He was nicknamed Coke or Cocaine, and he is on trial at the moment for drug trafficking, facing 16 years in jail. Yeah, that nickname's really gonna keep suspicion low, isn't it, Sergio? That, though, is gonna wrap up football this week, and I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then feel free to slap a like on the video, and of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel. You can also follow me on social media. It is at @theofficialfng on Twitter and on Insta. But it's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a wonderful day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.